Alright YouTube, so bringing you guys some more Fallout 76 information. So let's just hop right into it. If you guys remember, somewhat recently we did a video where we talked about the future updates they're planning for Fallout 76. They want to, increase the stash limit size. For PC, they want to add push-to-talk, ultra-wide support, and the field of view slider. Well, it turns out they're wanting to do these updates before the end of the year. So they dropped an article on Bethesda.net that's titled Upcoming Features and Fixes November 2018 that says, since Vault 76 opened to the world in beta and official launch, we've loved reading about your adventures and seeing your incredible photos from all over Appalachia. With launch day behind us, we're now looking toward the immediate future for Fallout 76 and what that means for both the short and long term. Before we get to new content and other additions, we want you to know that we have seen your feedback, taken notes of issues, and value the time you have taken to provide your thoughts and report problems. So first and foremost, we have our first patch coming Monday, November 19th. I don't want to split hairs here, but didn't we have a day one patch? It was like 50 gigabytes. Anyways, and while this update has many performance fixes and optimizations in it, we know some of your biggest requests, including an increased stash limit and several PC quality of life adjustments, are not included in this update. These features are coming in the next several weeks. Our plan is to update the game on a regular basis with patch notes that detail what we are addressing with each update. If that changes, we'll let folks know as things may shift as we need to balance adding features with server stability and maintenance. So once we get these patch notes with this next update, I will be covering that in a video. I've been kind of slacking on covering the information for this game like I thought I was going to. And I've complained in the past how I didn't even know what these updates were doing. It's because I wasn't seeing these tweets or whatever they're putting out that links us to the patch notes. I wasn't finding this stuff, but they said there's going to be patch notes along with this November 19th update, so I will be covering that for you guys, letting you know what all that fixes. And something a little bit troubling with what I just read there is they said they might have to balance adding new features to the game with the server stability and maintenance, which means they might put off fixing the game to add new features to the game. That's a bit worrying, because that's one of the biggest complaints when it comes to Fallout 76 is the performance, like getting kicked from the servers, the glitching, the frame drops, all that type of stuff. You guys already know what it is over the past couple of months. We've heard about it forever. That's one of the biggest complaints surrounding this game. And they might slow down fixing the game just to add new features. And while I definitely want more content and new things to do in Appalachia, I definitely want the game to run better. Not to mention with each new update of a game and when they add new content to a game, that almost always adds more bugs and problems. That happens with every game. It's not just going to be Fallout 76. This happens with most games. There's just new glitches and new problems with the game every time you add new content. So we'll have to see how things go in the future. So right here we can see what tomorrow's patch on the 19th is going to actually bring to the game. And it says the next update will focus primarily on game performance and stability on all platforms, but will also come with a list of fixes to Quest, UI, camps, and more. Patch notes will be available early next week. This update will be large compared to what we expect for patches going forward. Regular updates will always vary in size, but future updates should be much smaller in comparison. We don't really need to read these, but stash limit increase, push-to-talk, ultra-wide support, FOV slider. And it says, as always, we strive to make Fallout 76 a better experience and value all your feedback and reports of issues on Reddit, Twitter, our official forums, and other places. So according to them, tomorrow's update is going to be a decent size, at least compared to what they planned for future patches to Fallout 76, which is kind of good. I hope they can get the updates a little bit smaller, because 30 to 50 gigabytes is insane to download constantly. Even if you have good internet, that's still sometimes hours at a time. But let's see what tomorrow's update size is going to be, and then we'll kind of get an idea of what maybe the future updates are going to be, because they should be less than whatever tomorrow is, according to Bethesda. But again, this update is not giving us the stash limit increase or the quality of life changes for PC. That stuff's coming in the next couple of weeks. The tweet that actually came out from the Fallout accounts that tweeted out this article did mention updates for December, so maybe expect those kind of updates in December instead of actually November. And we don't actually need to read over, but the end of the article mentions the stuff we read in the open letter that Bethesda sent out on launch day, I believe it was, or the day before launch day, whatever it was. Which is the new vaults, the faction-based PvP, the camp improvements, stuff like that. Stuff we've already talked about, which is good, but they said that stuff's coming out in 2019. So the next two stories actually go hand in hand because they happen with the exact same YouTuber. Him and a group of other players actually got some nuke codes and launched a nuke at an actual Scorchbeast fissure site, and when that happened, they unleashed a level 95 3-star Scorchbeast Queen. Now, I don't believe they are the first to actually launch a nuke. I think that happened during the beta, but they did launch this one a day after the game dropped, and they've already fought the strongest enemy, as far as we know, in the entire game. It's gotta be, because the Scorchbeast and the fissures and nukes and stuff, that's in-game content, and she's a level 95 enemy, Scorchbeast Queen. There can't really be anything above the Scorchbeast Queen, I'd imagine. It's kind of sad and honestly a little bit disappointing that we've already seen the in-game content. Some players have already come across the hardest event and enemy in the game and already defeated it. And I haven't watched the entire video. It's pretty lengthy. I think it's like 20 plus minutes or something. I didn't watch the entire video. I just wanted to see kind of what the Scorchbeast Queen looked like. But they've already defeated it. Their highest level guy is like level 70. I don't even know how you get that high. I played every day of the beta with the same character. I'm only in my 20s. Regardless, one of their dudes was like level 70. I think one was like 50 and one was like 40 or something like that. And they were able to take down a level 95 enemy. Not to mention all the other Scorch Beasts around them. And this was kind of one of my worries with Fallout 76, as I was hoping there's actually going to be some decent boss fights like there are with Elder Scrolls Online. If you go do like some of the dungeons and stuff in that game, like there's some legit boss fights that take you 30 plus minutes or more, an hour at times to actually defeat. And I'm hoping that this game was going to have that, but it doesn't seem to be, because like if people are already able to defeat a level 95 legendary Scorchbeast Queen, probably the hardest enemy in the entire game, it's kind of disappointing. And the next story relates to this one because it's actually the exact same YouTuber. It's a smaller channel, it's like 1,000-something subs, man, but he's out there on the grind making shit happen with the game. Him and his group of friends got together, or people, whoever, and launched 3 nukes at the exact same time in roughly the exact same area, and this actually crashed the server, disconnected them from the game. Now, I have seen some people hating on this, and I think it's a bit fair because the nukes are a major selling point of this game. Finally, you can play a Fallout game and be the one launching the nukes for once. And of course, the nukes is like the in-game content and like the end of the main quest or whatever the case. So this is something that we're all kind of striving for and gonna do eventually. And it like crashed the server. Now, I've also seen it argued on the other side of stuff that it could honestly be coincidental. We have server disconnections all the time. I could just be walking around the map, not even in combat, not even engaging anybody, doing nothing, just running or walking, and I get kicked off the game all the time. So it could be coincidental, though that's not very likely. And obviously we know the game is pretty unstable, and when you nuke an area, it changes the entire map, or at least that region, and the fauna and the creatures, and when you're trying to do this 3 times over in the generally the same area, it probably was just overwhelming for the game and crashed the server. And I'm not trying to like forgive the game for that, but that's probably what actually happened. Is it just could not handle doing that, processing that 3 times. But this can happen, man. You can come into a lobby, and maybe everybody in that lobby is a high-level player, and everybody's got nuke codes, and they all launch every nuke possible at the exact same time in the general area. It could be something that happens in the future, so they definitely need to get on this, because this is like, again, a big selling point of the game is launching nukes at other players or locations around the map. Anyways, guys, that's the video. Let me know your thoughts below about the Scorchbeast Queen, the launch of 3 nukes at once, the updates coming to the game. And as I mentioned previously, once those patch notes come out, I will cover that for you guys. But other than that, I have to go capture a ton of gameplay today because they said that update's going to be pretty big tomorrow, and I need to capture some gameplay until I can update the game. Either way, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Turn on notifications, follow me on Twitter at TheDashingDavid, at my Discord. Links to my social networks are in the description. And in the outro. Later, guys. Give me forever for a while, give me forever for a while, quit acting